I want to start off the show really quick because the way we normally start off is we chat a little bit, but I feel like I should dive right into this. What we're all thinking right now is grieving the huge loss and legacy. Well, her legacy will live on, but the huge loss of a legend, a beautiful human being, an angel, Dolly Parton, at 80 years old. I mean, literally my partner's favorite person, one of my favorite people as well, and we are all so very sad. I want to take just a couple seconds of silence here to acknowledge just how beautiful of a human she was and how much we're all gonna miss her. Um, I was gonna read an article, but I decided not to. I think the moment of silence was enough. I think we just everybody has, at least most people have heard by now that that Dolly's gone, and I mean she's had a different impact on all of us, but I think she's
We can.
actually affected us all in different ways. What is one thing one bright memory you have, Brandon, of Dolly Parton?
That's what I was gonna say. We could like talk about what
And I was
song we
gonna ask
liked
y'all
or
next.
what
Yeah.
kind of or movie or whatever we most associate with her. But um, I follow her. I subscribe to her publication on
Me
Substack,
too.
so I've seen a lot of her little videos where she just tells little stories about certain songs or how she was inspired by them or that kind of thing. But I mean I love her songs. I respect her as a songwriter. She's written so many songs for not only herself but for different people, different artists and everything. Of course I love I Will Always Love You, Jolene, 9 to 5. I love 9 to 5. I think
I
that's
love
such a
that one.
fun.
Coat of
Yes.
many colors.
Yeah. And I
The
loved the
problem
movie
with
too.
Jolene,
She
though,
was
is once you hear Jolene, you hear it, you wanna sing it, and it's stuck in your head for, like, 3 days, you know?
yeah. Yeah, so
How about
those are my favorite songs probably of hers.
how about Al? How about you, Al?
9 to 5, I loved. I loved so much of her, like, earlier stuff too, you know? She was such a knockout when she was younger. I was looking at pictures of her, like, when I found out, and I appreciate it. I think my favorite memories are just knowing that she was such a big philanthropist,
Yeah.
and, that's pretty cool. And who gets their own amusement park? Like, who builds
Yeah.
their own amusement park? Like, that takes some guts, and good fair play to her for being a woman in the business, you know?
I we our lifelong long dream was to go to Dollywood and meet Dolly Parton, but now that we don't get to do that, at least the we want to at least achieve half of that goal and go to Tennessee and go to Dollywood.
That's
I
great.
also one major thing I love about her legacy was the books that she gave to kids. That imagination library that she ran for
Yeah.
over 30 years. Um, Brain of Jayhawk actually earlier had posted something about it, how he's gotten about a dozen free books from that program for his son.
Wow.
That made a direct impact on him. Um, I remember watching the movie A Walk to Remember when I was about 21 years old, and then Mandy Moore's character makes that reference to what Dolly Parton says about just be yourself and well, okay, what's the exact quote now? I'm gonna flub this,
I don't
but
remember this part.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, I've seen the movie, but it's been so long, I don't remember any reference.
Is it the "Don't get
I
above
doubt
your
who you
raisin"?
are and do it on purpose.
Oh, okay. I like
Yeah.
she used to say, "Don't get above your raising." Like, don't forget where you come from, and don't be too
Mhm.
big for your britches at the same time. I love it.
Yeah, yeah, that
The one I hear say a lot is it it takes a lot of money to look this cheap.
or
I
the
never heard that.
criticisms when people tell her, uh, you know, uh, they comment about her boobs and her blonde hair. Well, she's like, oh, well, they try to say that she's dumb or something. She's like, well, I know I'm not dumb, and I also know I'm not blonde because she wasn't a
Yeah.
natural blonde.
She did it, I think, to please herself. She didn't have to have the looks and the curves that she had. But I think she was a remarkable businesswoman, and, I did hear that about her, and I remember reading something a couple of years ago about she was still really active in her businesses.
Mhm.
Yeah, and her
Yeah,
song,
all
like
the way up till she died.
she didn't allow other people to take possession of her songs and everything. They were, they weren't owned by her record label or anything. They were her own. And
Smart move.
like in the movie 9 to 5, when one of her little videos on Substack, she was talking about that and saying when they approached her with it, she didn't want to do a movie. She wasn't interested in it really, but she finally said, "Okay, I'll do it as long as I can write the theme song." And then that ended up being one of her big hits, which was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
The movie is super cute too. But wow,
Yeah,
women are sure equal in that movie, huh?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they were talking about doing another one, and I don't know if they ever started filming it or not, but they were, kind of working on the script. Her and Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda were all working on the script and everything, but I
Was,
didn't know. I don't know how far they got into it.
Dolly actually
Ally
made it
Fields in
a
it too?
special appearance on Grace and Frankie.
Yeah,
Uh,
I read that in
then
the
Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda did that show again. I mean, they did that show years later from 9 to 5, where they had collaborated with Dolly. But Dolly, she loved the show so much she came on there,
yeah.
played a character on that show. It was beautiful. Um, okay. Dolly, you will always be remembered. Rest in power, girl. I mean, woman, you were strong and beautiful, and you, yeah, wow.
Yeah. Play on, Dolly, like,
Lay on
that's all we
Dolly.
can ask is play on.
Exactly. This feels like a very rough pivot at this point, but now this is the segment usually where we get to share what story we have from the week that we want to tell people.
Uh-huh.
And what the other two people do that when they're listing is we give a humorous, even if it's a slightly inaccurate summary of what you just said, but
Okay.
it's based off of what you said. So, Elle, since you're our guest, you get to start and tell the first story to kind of get into the vibe, and then you'll hear what we say about what you're telling us, and then we go from there.
Okay, just anything? Any
Just
Yeah,
anything that
something
happened to you like over the last week or recently.
or
Okay,
whatever. Yeah,
so my
like
we
your
just
move.
moved, and we're in the process of unpacking, and part of the thing when you have help packing is you can never find anything when you unpack, and you end up having to buy something little that you have to replace because you don't know where it went to. And so, my housemate's been getting all the little stuff for the house, and she's been, bargain hunting, and it's been awesome. Well, she came in the other day with 2 life-size skeletons. And I was like, "Did the internet run out of stuff and now you got a life size like, what?" And she's like, "For Halloween." And I was like, "Oh, okay. That's cool." So, but I mean, it's just super random and they're sitting in our living room right now. And the guy came today to install the screen storm door, and he saw this just these 2 skeletons sitting in our living room, like, and they're really realistic looking and articulated and yeah.
Mhm. So you're letting
Okay.
people, you're letting the skeletons out of your closet, and people are seeing that now.
Yes, a lot of boning going on.
All right,
Wow.
Brandon, go
Yeah.
ahead. Yeah,
That's
that was
I
good.
should have thought
That
of
was
the
good.
boning one. Man, I can't use it now though.
Yeah, you can't use it now.
Um,
Tell her after you because she was like, "Nope, I'm jumping on this." Oh wait, that's what
so
the skeleton said.
yeah, so you're downsizing, getting rid of stuff, and then you you bought some more stuff to replace it, and
Not me, not
brought
me.
put some took some dead people out of your closet and
Yeah.
put them on the sofa. Like, well, might as well just use them to
Well,
decorate.
we needed the room in the closet, you know?
Yeah.
So and I was like, "Is this your last housemate? Like, is this a pattern? Were these in the freezer and now they're out?" And she's like, "No, it's Halloween." And I was like, "That makes a lot more sense than this is a dead person," you know?
All right,
So
Brandon, go ahead.
did
Go.
the guy ask about it?
Not to
The
me,
screen
but
door
I
guy?
saw him, like, every time he walked through, he'd just kinda look, and we named him
It's
Jack
like,
and Helen. And so I was like,
oh,
"Oh, Jack." Jack keeps falling over, and then yesterday, the cat walked up to Jack, and his arm was kinda just going limp, you know? And
So he
he
was a gay skeleton.
literally yeah, I think so, because every time we set him up, that happens. I don't know,
Mm.
but, Helen's kind of doesn't know what's going on with their relationship much right at this point, but anyway, the cat goes up and he sees these appendages of finger bones, and he just starts scratching himself with the hand and then licking it, and then he started chewing on the bone, and it was like, "What is happening? This is so creepy." So
You should, yeah, you could set after you use the skeletons, you take the arm off and set it like a cat scratcher, like tie it to a piece of
I don't
wood or
have to
something,
reach
and
far, just, like,
just let
do
it.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you'll
Right.
probably enjoy that.
Pussy likes the bone. I did the
All right,
joke for you.
I know. Brandon, okay, go ahead and tell us about your week, and then Ellen and I will have something equally fun to.
Oh, well, you may not have much to work with because I didn't do a lot over this past week. I did do a baking video using a corn muffin mix, and I made some uh,
Some good.
cornbread blondies, which were a little different. I mean, they tasted better. I don't like cornbread, so I was trying to use this muffin mix for something other than cornbread, and I came up with the blondies, brownies, but blondie, but they had chocolate chips and stuff in them. But
Yum.
other than that, I watched a movie. I don't remember now what movie it was. Apparently, it wasn't very memorable. Um, oh, The Last House is one I watched. I don't know if I watched it in the last week. The Last House. It was a horror movie.
Well,
It just came out this
The
year.
Last House, yeah, I've heard about that. Was it good or
I didn't think it was great. It kind of had the vibe of Bird Box or Quiet Place. If you have watched either of those, I love both of those movies. So I was kind of hoping this would do well, but it's like, well, it got into it, and I'm like, this kind of
Yeah.
plot
I've
plot
seen
holes, and
Bird
yeah,
Box. What was the other one,
Or-
The Quiet Place?
A Quiet Place,
Yeah, the one with Emma, or not Emma. What's her name? Emily Blunt and
Emily Blunt,
John
John
Krasinski. The
Krasinski,
Oh,
yeah.
married couple.
okay.
Yeah, married
Yeah.
couple.
It was so good. I thought it was really good. And then the sequel. I haven't watched the third one yet. The prequel to both of those, Day One. But you know,
We'll have to check that out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you watched a ton of obscure movies this week and we're lazy. That's all I have.
okay.
How about
I
you?
all I got out of that was that you are a very lonely man and you're gonna die all alone.
Oh wow!
Oh, she. That was a Sturge level burn right there.
I'm just
Woo!
kidding.
Help bring
You
in
know,
the
I
fire.
can't be
No, I always tease. I always tease Brendan like
I
that.
know, but every time I burn someone, I feel so bad about it after.
Oh, hello, Wendy.
Yeah, no, L was a great fit for this segment. That was amazing. Let me go ahead and do my story, and then you guys can chime in. So let's see, Monday. So that was yesterday. Two big things happened. I was able to walk 50 feet with just my cane, which is a huge improvement now that we're going into the 14th week of recovery. And then we went to a Mexican restaurant on Monday, and Mike and I shared a $40 plate of fajitas for two. It was a big ass, like mushrooms, peppers, avocado, tomatoes, like steak, shrimp, like oh my god, sizzling hot. Brought us like six tortillas each. We got a salad with rice and beans on the side. Um, and then we had jango for dessert, which if you don't know what jango is, it's a Mexican dessert that is fried tortilla filled with cheesecake, topped with chocolate syrup and vanilla ice cream with sprinkles. And oh my fucking god, that
That sounds good.
yeah, that I mean I'm diabetic, but like, I don't do that a lot. So
Sounds like
I
a cannoli, like a
yeah,
Yeah.
like
disappoint.
a cannoli. It's basically a cannoli, but like Mexican style.
Yeah.
And then we found a cool vape shop in this little town of Andover, Ohio, population about 900 people near the Pennsylvania border. And they had some cool stuff in there. And we talked to a guy. He shared his life story with us a little bit. He was kind of cool. This young kid, like mid to early 30s, worked in the store. He was a really cool guy, and he was really warm and welcoming to us in the vape store. Yeah. I mean, Monday, that was what I wanted to focus on. I did a lot more this week, but I'm gonna focus on what I did Monday, and that's what I wanted to bring today. So, I mean, roast away.
Elle, you want to start or you?
Go for
Okay.
it.
What I got was you walked 50 feet to cane someone at a Mexican restaurant, and there was a young guy bending you over, bend over, bend over. Is that the place you
I
said?
heard
Yeah.
hand,
Something like
hand, handy,
ha- hand
handy.
over, something about vaping and, yeah, I don't know. That's it.
All right, how about you, Al?
It sounds like you walked 50 feet to go contribute to your diabetes, which is awesome. I'm sure that exercise is gonna counteract the big dessert you had. But that's what I learned is that you did all that and you found if finding a cool vape shop is kind of cool because then you get good deals when you keep going back. But you have to go to Ohio and is there a trade-off?
Yeah, right. I mean, Ohio. It's Ohio. I mean, so what's the name of that band? Hawthorne Heights sings "Ohio is for Lovers."
Never heard it.
Hmm.
It's like a harder. I don't want to say punk, but maybe like nah, punk adjacent alternative. There you go, Mike.
Punk adjacent.
Mm. My heart
That's
did
a
me
good
something.
that's a good genre. I've never heard that before. Is it like in the record store, like really tiny? Like punk, rock, and punk adjacent?
Mhm. There are like 3 CDs there, right? Oh yes, yes. A YRG is actually typing in the lyrics right now. Um yeah,
Hmm.
Ohio's got a bunch of songs. Mike, when we first got into Ohio the other day, he was playing Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young's song from 1970, Ohio. You know, For Dead in Ohio. He was playing it
I've
really
seen
loud.
them in concert. I've
Yeah.
seen all 4 of them reunite, and then at a reunion thing, at first, I saw a set with just Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and then Neil Young came out and reunited with them for a set.
Oh my god,
Is that a is that a
I
law
love
firm? Did they sing like law jingles or something?
1-800-ACCIDENT was their favorite hit, you know?
No, what was it? It was a JG Wentworth jingle, Brandon. That's what they made. You know,
Hmm.
call JG Wentworth. It's my money and I want it now, you know?
Oh yeah, 8776
Or,
now.
Yeah,
the big lawyer in
8776
Phoenix
now.
was this guy named Rafi somebody, but he paid to wrap his face on all the buses, and it just says, "Rafi, Rafi, Rafi," like, all over it, and then it has a phone number, and that's it. And so people call just to find out who he is, and
That worked. That
he's a
worked. People
yeah,
called.
personal injury lawyer, criminal lawyer, or something like that.
Hmm.
It's just funny.
That is pretty funny. Oh my gosh. Okay, so now this is actually the segment we read our stories. And I actually had a different story in mind to read today. It was about Mike's birthday last year, but since the whole Dolly thing happened today, I actually remember that I had written a story about Dolly Parton 4 years ago. And I'm gonna read that one today. So but I mean obviously since you're our guest, Ellen, you told me what you're reading, you get to go and start first. So
Oh, you can go first if you want to,
no.
since it's
We
about
always let the
Dolly.
guests go first.
Okay. I guess should I read the one that I was talking to you about?
Yeah, yeah. I like that
Okay.
one.
It's not that long. This is called $3 and a cherry limeade, and I'll be publishing it on Substack after this. All right.
Okay.
I love to smile, and it's not hard to get me grinning. It feels good to smile, but I'm talking about spontaneous smiles, not the posed ones practiced for photos. I mean the ones that bubble up from your sternum and crinkle your eyes. The last thing that made me smile wasn't anything extraordinary. It's a series of small, seemingly insignificant moments when a tiny act of kindness changed the shape of my day. I moved recently, narrowly avoiding homelessness and disaster. My housemate Marie was lucky enough to be able to hire help packing and moving as my neurological disease leaves me quite weak, especially during the heat of summer. What I didn't know is that I don't know what I would have done without her. From the moment we met, we clicked. We've been like sisters ever since, and I do anything for her, her amazing dog, and her non asshole cat. The dog has to have a cuddle with me when I wake up, and the cat rubs my nose to his and purrs. So together we've become a small family, and it's the little things that warm my heart. So when she stops for something cold to drink, she gets me a cherry limeade. It's that cherry limeade that touches my heart, not the drink, the fact that in the middle of her errands, hot and frazzled, she still thought, Elle would want one. There's something embarrassingly tender about being cared for or thought about when you're not even in the room. A few years ago, I experienced a brutal stretch of loss. The family and friends who made up my world all died within a year. Then my best friend betrayed me. I don't have many people left I can say I can trust. Loss does weird things to the way you measure love. When you've lived in the absence of enough people, you stop taking tiny gestures for granted. Someone remembering your favorite drink feels disproportionately ginormous when you're no longer used to being on someone's mind. A text simply saying, "Did you make it home okay?" can mean the world to someone who experiences endemic loneliness. The other day, I went to buy a new cannabis pipe, and I was $3 short in cash. Turned out they didn't take credit cards. So the nice man at the counter said, "No worries," and he took the $3 from his tip jar to make up the difference. It's a small,
Oh,
seemingly meaningless random act of kindness, but he didn't have to do that, and it doesn't feel ordinary to me. It feels remarkable. Ordinary kindness is wildly underrated because we tend to measure kindness by the size of the gesture, and I think we have it backward. $3 from a tip jar won't change my life, and neither will a cherry limeade, but both changed my day. And maybe that's enough. We never know the battles that someone may be fighting when we cross their paths or the emotions that they carry. The guy at the dispensary didn't know I was on the edge of homelessness or the people I've buried and the friendships I've lost. He didn't know loneliness follows me around like a second shadow. He just saw a woman who was $3 short and thought, I can fix that. And he did. Funny how $3 and a cherry limeade can find their way all the way to your sternum.
oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh,
How sweet.
I read it, but like hearing you read it out loud, that was just more impactful. It felt, I felt that. I felt that. Just the little things that just perk you up, and having somebody that you live with that you just have that kind of relationship with.
Yeah. Nobody
Very
wants to
important.
have a
It's
housemate,
underrated. Mhm.
but when you do, you gotta have the best one possible, and I do. I'm just really lucky. So that's always good, you know? And she totally looks out for me on my bad days when I'm really weak. It's
Mhm.
stuff gets done. I can't explain it. Or she'll drive me to the doctor or whatever I need.
Yeah, I agree. You ready, Grandma? Amazing, great writing. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
if you're not, you remember to subscribe to Elle, and
Rare
you can
Bird
click
Rising.
at the top. You should be able to
Yeah, I should be
click the
Substack
button.
at Paul Becker, I think. And also, if anyone's interested, and I'll post more info about it later, but if anyone is interested in taking a writing class, my writing class starts September 6th. The next cohort of it is a 6-week class called From Idea to Edit. And it covers exactly that. Where do you get the chaos in your brain, starting from the chaos in your brain all the way to a finished, edited piece, revised piece, and ready to submit it in.
I took
Um,
yours. It's amazing.
we're just taking it, yeah. So, and it's $100, but it's sliding scale. Nobody will be turned away for lack of funds. And it starts Sunday, September 6th at 2 p.m. So if you guys are interested, I'll post some information about it later. But thanks for letting me plug it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like how your writing is versatile too. You write a lot of funny
Mhm.
stuff, satirical stuff, but
Mhm.
this is an example of one of the really heartfelt ones. I really like it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
like the
do humor
variety.
piece. but they felt longer, so I
Mhm.
didn't wanna do one that was too long.
That was a good one.
You probably shouldn't be eating yogurt on camera, sorry.
How was your eating?
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, yogurt with berries. Blue and strawberry.
You know that phenomenon when you, like, take a picture of food and it doesn't look as good as the food does in real life? Like, when they take a picture for the menu, you
Oh
know?
yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, "Oh, I don't want that," but if you didn't see a picture of it, you probably would want it. I just felt
Mhm.
that way right now.
Mm.
Sorry.
I felt that
Yeah.
way with Sonic burgers. I do not like Sonic. Their burgers
I
are
hate
always
those
like
Yeah, they're
the
greasy.
yeah, they're mushy. Like the lettuce and the tomatoes and everything are all that's all wilty and just I don't know. I but to
You're
look
an
at the
amateur,
picture, it
Brandon.
looks great.
No, but look, you're an amateur, Brandon. When you go to Sonic, you have to order the hot dogs.
Yeah,
And
I don't
don't
eat
put
their hot dogs either.
and don't put ketchup on them.
Don't
It's
listen to
terrible.
him.
I will put ketchup on my hot
What do
dogs.
you
Thank
guys
you
like
very
on your
much.
hot dog?
Huh?
What do you like on your hot dogs?
I don't eat much. I like a chili dog sometimes, but
Mm.
I put ketchup on mine.
On your chili dog?
Um, no, just on a hot. I mean,
Oh,
if I just have a hot dog, like if I roast it over a fire or whatever, then I put
Yeah, that's
ketchup
what I
on it.
like, or like a sausage or something. I like the works. I do ketchup, mustard, onions, relish,
Oh yeah,
jalapenos, pickle.
I
I
like
don't
Chicago
mind. Like
style.
if I don't use a lot of relish. I'm not a pickle person, but
Oh, I
I'll
like
eat it
dill
if it's there.
dill relish is the
Oh
bomb.
yeah,
It's sweet relish, I can take or leave, but dill relish is the shit.
yeah.
Nice. All right. By the way, L, if you tuned it, I think you might have seen it last week. The hot dog reference was to the
Oh
debate
yeah,
we had last week with
yeah.
ketchup along on hot dogs, and you'll see what happens in our debate section. We get a little spirited here. It's coming up near the end. Um, but Brandon, go ahead and read yours, and we're gonna just have a short conversation about yours after you read.
Okay, let's
We'll,
see. I'm gonna do
disgustingly eat on camera.
yeah. I'll read the one I posted last week called "Nobody Wanted the Orange Juice."
Mm.
Nobody wanted the orange juice. It was tart, pulpy, sticky, but it was new and different, so the other groceries in the refrigerator accepted it. It was full of vitamin C, so it was supposedly good for you, right? OJ was eventually voted leader of the fridge. It was initially suggested by the huge vat of mayonnaise that's been there a decade. Nobody remembers buying it, but removing it feels wrong somehow. Mayo was supported by the rest of the expired condiments that no one has the authority to throw out. A majority of the 9 white eggs sitting in their lofty balcony in the fridge door confirmed the appointment. Some were accused of being cracked, or at least hard boiled. None of the items in the fridge like drastic change, so everything sits there getting crusty and moldy. Even the leftover McDonald's that no one has seen in over 7 weeks. Rumors continue to circulate that it has enough preservatives to remain edible. It should definitely be thrown out, but no one has the guts to open the wrapper to see what's inside. The OJ promised health. Avocados were no longer needed to sustain us, or that queer looking eggplant. Is it a fruit or vegetable? Is it a fruit or vegetable? We don't know, but it matters, damn it. It wasn't long before the OJ spilled all over the fridge. It was a gross, sticky mess. The OJ even seeped down into the crisper drawer. A pint of heavy cream was tucked away there because it had begun leaking out a while back. The drawer started being referred to as the Holstein files, but now the OJ completely covers it. My buddy Ellie Leonard offered to sort through the drawer. Wear gloves, Ellie. It's a mess down there. Ice began forming at the back of the fridge, freezing everything around it, whether it was supposed to be there or not. Unfortunately, the ice was masked by things in front of it. Some items wanted the OJ gone, like the beautifully labeled Tupperware of leftovers full of good intentions, slowly turning into a science experiment in the back of the fridge. They were part of an elaborate set of meal prep containers on Sunday that should have lasted all week, but got rearranged into a completely different plan by Tuesday. Maybe one day the fridge will get defrosted and the OJ's mess will all be cleaned up. For now, we sit here with a fridge nearly full of inedible food. The only thing fit to eat is a block of American cheese on some stale white crackers.
That was great.
That was so awesome.
That was fan
All the imagery that was happening while you were explaining all the different ways the fridge was transforming. It was just that was epic.
Thank you.
well done.
Thank you.
Structurally, you did a really good job with that pacing, like, building the changes of the fridge and what was happening, and at first, I thought you were just gonna talk about, like, the industry of orange juice or something, and I was like,
Right.
"Real? Listen," you know? And then you got, like, so funny, and no, I loved it. I really enjoyed hearing it. Good job.
It's completely satirical and has nothing to do with the current climate or politics or anything like that. It's just a story about
I wondered
items
if
in a refrigerator.
Yeah.
not autobiographical or anything.
Oh,
He's the
No.
mayonnaise that spilled all over it. Um, but never mind. My mind is going places it shouldn't right now. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and read this story that I wrote on September 4th, 2022, so almost exactly 4 years ago, about Dolly Parton. And it was a self-reflection writing challenge. So I wrote basically how Dolly Parton inspires me every day, finding yourself and what that does for you. This story actually went viral, it got thousands and thousands of views, so I was really happy about that. But I'll go ahead and start reading it here. I remember first hearing this quote from Dolly Parton herself, although the quote is definitely very Dolly sounding, but from the emotional movie A Walk to Remember in the early 2000s with Shane West and Mandy Moore. It was one of Mandy Moore's character's favorite all-time quotes from Dolly Parton. This is the one I was trying to find earlier. Find out who you are and do it on purpose. Simple yet poignant. I spent a lot of my life hiding my true self. I didn't want anyone to know who I was, and in doing that, I damaged my ability to properly figure out who I was in the process. Once I came out as gay, I started to take stock of myself and find out who I was throughout the years. After that, I had met my partner. He also helped challenge me and figure out who I was as he started figuring me out better as well. Then I did something transformative. I started owning up to who I was. I figured out who I was and wasn't going to apologize for that at all. Started finding out what I liked and what I didn't like. I figured out how I perform under pressure and did something unheard of. I I used to truly hate myself at times. Then I started loving myself more. My partner loved me. Why wasn't it possible for me to do the same? Once I purposely started to find myself in my way, my decisions became a lot easier to make since I understood what I wanted. This ultimately led me to the realization I could totally live in a traveling vehicle designed to house me and my partner. If I thought that I couldn't handle it, then I would not have agreed to that direction. Our life is gone. I'm not much of a preacher, but I suggest that anyone who hasn't completely found out who they are and expressed themselves just go on this journey of self-discovery, figure it out. It doesn't hurt. Your life after truly finding out who you are is amazing. It's not perfect, but it sure as hell beats lying to yourself, others, and those you love and care about. Once you express yourself in a sincere and honest way, there's no going back. I once stupidly thought that if people really knew who I was, they wouldn't like me at all. Worse than that, I thought I wouldn't like me. Sometimes I don't, but most of the time I love myself. I found that being yourself is just fine for the people that you want to keep in your life. Those who don't like you won't stay anyway. So love yourself and do it all on purpose. Just be yourself. Thank you, Dolly. And then I'm gonna add right now, rest in power. Because oh my god.
Mhm. That's nice, sir. It's nice to hear that you're writing about being comfortable in your own skin and knowing yourself. There's something
It,
freeing about that. It took me till I was of a certain age to figure out that I was comfortable being me, you know?
hmm Yeah, you know, I I I had this weird thing is like if I don't act a certain way that society wanted me to act or my relatives wanted me to act, all these people were feeding me this garbage and it was not anything I wanted to hear or needed to hear.
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
Obviously, I can
uh,
relate being closeted gay for a long time and Yeah, it's your family, at least mine, was very good at the guilt trips, you know? And it's
Catholic.
it's completely opposite of how it should be. They should have enough love to accept you for who you are and not try to guilt you into being something different or what they expect
Right.
you to be.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh, okay. Ooh, that was heavy.
Great
Let's go ahead and
research. Good job.
thank you. I'm going to open this link. This is our weekly article that we read from the news. It's usually gay topic, but sometimes we read just something that's trending. Today, I'm pulling up an article I read the other day on the 21st. It's on CNN. It's an article titled "Log Cabin Republicans: A Leading Group for Gay Conservatives Abandons Transgender Advocacy." And this is a very, very dear topic to my heart
So,
because I identify with the community, and I'm going to go ahead and read this. Not with the Republicans, obviously, but with the latter. Log Cabin Republicans, a leading organization for gay conservatives, will no longer advocate for transgender people, a significant break within the LGBTQ movement as the GOP makes opposition to trans rights a political and policy priority. The influential group added support for transgender issues to its platform more than a decade ago amid growing cultural acceptance. But Log Cabin Republican President Ross Heminger told CNN that in recent years, his members have grown increasingly uncomfortable with the focuses of the trans community, including gender affirming care for minors and the participation of trans girls and women in sports. It has gone to places we never in good conscience could get behind, Heminger said. The decision announced Thursday to drop the T from the group's LGBT mission comes as gay and lesbian Republicans face renewed threats to the rights they have spent decades fighting to secure, with those challenging largely emerging from within Heminger's party. Earlier this year, a coalition of conservative groups launched an initiative aimed at challenging the legal foundations of same sex marriage and preventing gay and lesbian couples from adopting children. Meanwhile, a growing number of Republican officials have called for new restrictions on surrogacy births, a move that would limit family building options for LGBTQ plus couples. Debate on the right over the issue broke out last month after Fox News personality Guy Benson and his husband announced the birth of a daughter via surrogate. It's the couple's second child. Several Christian conservative figures criticized Benson on X, with some like surrogacy to trafficking babies. Allie Beth Stuckey, the host of an influential podcast that featured JD Vance earlier this year, wrote that the idea of purposely creating that little girl to be the motherless is too much to bear. It's cruel. Allie Beth is a wildly talented communicator. She's also a fucking idiot, Heminger said. Those people have always been out there. They may be louder at times. I don't think they have more people than our side. CNN has reached out to Stuckey for comment. Heminger said Log Cabin Republicans is seeking to distance itself from the transgender rights movement in hopes of strengthening its position to fight for its gay and lesbian members. There's a big difference between talking about two people's rights to be married and whether your 12-year-old girl should be playing volleyball against biological men, he said. Not everyone agreed with the approach. Sarah Hunt, a former board member of the Log Cabin Institute, wrote on X she was disappointed by the announcement. She pointed to Caitlyn Jenner, a transgender woman and vocal supporter of President Donald Trump, who is among the country's most recognizable figures. Until now, LCR's legacy has been inclusion and building a big tent, she wrote. The Human Rights Campaign also criticized Log Cabin Republicans, saying in a statement that the vast majority of us understand that all of our freedoms are intertwined. Splitting up the LGBTQ plus community and pitting us against each other is exactly what anti-equality forces want to see happen, spokesperson Delphine Leno said in the statement. Sacrificing one part of a community in the false hope that it will somehow protect the rest of it has never worked throughout history, and it's a tactic that should be rejected again today. Opposition to gay rights has largely faded from Republican campaigns since the Supreme Court legalized same sex marriage nationwide in 2015. Under Trump's direction, the GOP removed objections to same sex marriage in its party platform when he won the nomination in 2024. Since taking office again, Trump has elevated several gay men in positions of power in his administration, including Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and Richard Grenell, a special presidential envoy for special missions. Log Cabin Republicans has benefited from its proximity to the Trump administration. First Lady Melania Trump, the recipient of the organization's top honor in 2021, headlined a fundraiser for the group in 2024, and its former president, Charles Moran, now serves in the U.S. Department of Energy. But CNN reported in June that some groups are eager to revive old cultural battles once Trump is no longer presiding over the party. They have been energized in part by the growing pushback to trans whites, as well as Justice Clarence Thomas's explicit calls to reconsider the ruling that legalized same-sex marriage nationwide, which he made in a concurring opinion when the court overturned the constitutional right to an abortion in 2022. Last year, the Supreme Court declined to revisit the issue. We will obviously have future nominees and party leaders who are more conservative on those issues than Donald Trump, Heminger said. It's not anything that scares us. And oh my God, let's talk about this. Because this is horrifying, terrifying news. So even the log cabin Republicans who've been, I mean, first of all, log cabin Republicans shouldn't even be a thing, in my opinion, because gay people should not be Republican. That is so backwards. Like, when will they figure out that the Republicans just aren't for us at all? Oh yeah, we're gonna fight for gay and lesbian rights. Just fight for the fact to not have our rights taken away again. Like that's basically what they are. And
Taken away? You had them in the first place?
I mean, we never really had them, but yeah, no, I mean, we're giving little, we're being given little morsels here and there, little bites
I
of
think
freedom.
it's a complete witch hunt right now, and
Mhm.
I have a lot of parent people that I know who have children who are trans and are trying to find ways to, like, help them, out of pocket, and it's astronomical. Another friend of mine's daughter is trans, and she had to basically put herself into near homelessness to get on a list to get financial assistance for her medicine, and then they, ended up getting she got oh god, so much happened, but she and her dad both got death threats and all kinds of stuff happened, so she left the country. She's gone. And it's sad that now she's separated from her dad and that they miss each other, you know? She's in her early 20s and doesn't deserve all the stuff she's been through.
Uh,
Uh,
Brandon.
there was a WNBA game in Georgia. I don't remember when it was. Not it was fairly recently, and there were some people in the stands that had pro trans T-shirts on, and a security guard came and told them they were dressed inappropriately and had to leave, or they would be escorted out.
I would have
At,
made them escort me
yeah,
bodily.
at a different game. I don't remember when this was. It was a couple days ago though. Natasha Cloud and her teammates saw Ennis Cantor Freedom on the sidelines, trying to rile some shit up. You know that and that former NBA player who is claiming he's a woman just to rile some shit up, and that he's gonna declare for the WNBA draft next year. He came to the game, and Natasha Cloud right away, all her teammates, they all went up to him and told him to get the fuck out of there, and security had to pull him out. They took him out of the game, but he was wearing something that was like anti-trans, and he's a known Trump supporter. So they took that guy right out of the stadium, and she offered a statement afterwards, uh, giving unconditional support to her to trans women and the trans community in general, support. So, I mean that speaks volumes
Well,
when you're not a Sophie Cunningham and you're not saying, things that are anti-trans. Like, you've heard of the stuff Sophie's been saying, right? Yeah,
yeah.
it's really sad. But there are people who are willing to speak up, and I commend them for that. And it's
Mhm. It's
they're
a
true
big deal
allies.
in this culture, and I don't know. I guess you could say I'm a passionate ally. I
Mhm.
just feel like from my point of view, I've never understood why somebody who is an oppressed group then has to turn around and find somebody to oppress. You
Yeah.
know? Like the log cabin Republicans, like they had it everyone was like, "Oh, they have it so tough at first and now they're sin," but then it's like, America was built on that mentality though, slavery, then the no Irish need apply, no Italians need apply. Like everybody has somebody they look down upon. And it feels like it's just repeating this cycle over and over. When are we going to learn?
Yeah.
It's gonna take something major. All right.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. All right. Well, on that note, we'll end this conversation and switch to our next segment, which Brandon is excited to start since he's side A.
Am I?
Yes, I will go ahead and read the debate that I had put forward for us this week. And once we're done both arguing our sides of it, and I always do this disclaimer before we start. These aren't necessarily our opinions. We're just taking one side of each side of a certain argument and looking at it logically and arguing our side of it. Last week
Okay.
happened to be what last week happened to be our opinion, which I did say during the live, but this week I'm not going to
This,
promise that
yeah.
is.
This week I was assigned this role, so I'll
It's
just put
and
that
we're
out there.
debating whether people who leave voice notes instead of texting are innovators or social criminals. And I gave Brandon the social criminal side, and I'm arguing side B, which is the innovator side. So let's go ahead and start. And then once we're done with both of our sides, Elle, you can chime in the conversation. We're just gonna do our sides first.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, voice notes. Ugh, ridiculous. Well, it's a little better than it used to be, I think. Like when I would get a voicemail, you'd have to dial your voicemail and put in your password and listen to the message and everything. What? Just text me you don't need to leave this voice message and make me go through all this time and listen to this thing. Just text me and I can read it when I've got the time and reply in kind. It's I think it's a little easier now where you can leave the voicemail and you just like on my phone at least I see the thing and I can just push play and listen to it.
Mhm.
I still don't really like listening to the voicemail. I don't know. It seems awkward and leaving the voice. I hate leaving voice messages. I I don't know what to say. First of all, I'm like, no, forget it. I just hang up before the message records. It's it's pointless, and the text messages are so much more efficient and time savers. And that's pretty much all I got on that one. I think.
I'm sorry, Brandon, but you're wrong.
Oh,
You're
of course
so
I am.
wrong
Of course.
because text people who voice text are very, very efficient innovators, and I'll tell you why. Because honestly, I couldn't even stand listening to you argue your side this time. Because voice notes, when they're sent, appropriately, preserve the tone and emotion and nuance of what somebody's trying to tell you instead of having to read a lost or misread flat text message. And I can tell you from experience in the past, when I've had something to say to somebody, especially if we're not necessarily in accord with each other at the time, some of my words came off as not what I intended it to. So if I had sent a voice message instead, maybe they would have heard the passion, the tone, and the intent behind my message instead of what my message was saying. Um, it just allows busy people to catch up on the go too. Like, imagine if you had to work like a 50, 60-hour job and you're not just gonna sit there texting, you're doing other stuff all day. It just makes communication feel a lot more personal, warm, and authentic even when you're busy. And it lets people talk freely with each other. Honestly, I think people who send voice messages frequently are actually are much smarter than the general population, and they're living in the future, not the past. Like you, like text messages. What even is that? All right, L, chime in.
All right. So, I think that there's nothing worse than getting a 15-minute voice memo from a creepy person. That's happened to me, and I don't listen to them. I have a transcript. Mine transcribes my voice memos, my phone. So when someone sends me a voice memo, I don't even listen to that. So I see Brandon's side of the argument, but I also see Sturgis because how else am I gonna wish somebody a happy birthday? I'm not gonna type out the words "Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you." I'm gonna sing it in a voice memo.
And
And
she has
if
a
I do
beautiful
it on their
singing voice.
voicemail, anybody under the age of 55 doesn't check their voicemail anyway. So,
Mhm.
we just I mean, show of hands, how many wait for it to fill up so people stop leaving you voicemails, and then they say, "Sorry, the mailbox is full," and then you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
So with that argument in mind, I wouldn't necessarily want voice memos to replace text or be a thing like that everybody does, but it does get nuanced language across, you know?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then I think you were very diplomatic in your approach to that answer in responding to our debate because you acknowledged Brandon's side and also acknowledged mine and kind of blended it. So I like that.
I think that's been a theme of all of our guests so far. Ben, Walter, and Elle have all been like. Actually, Ben, I don't think he took. He didn't talk about either. So he talked about something
No,
completely different,
it
which
was
is
funny.
just on par
It's
with
fun.
Ben.
You have to go watch it. It's actually pretty
Yeah,
funny. Um,
but yeah,
yeah, yeah,
very
no, for
diplomatic.
sure.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. No, that I
Uh,
love this part. That
I
was
have a
great. So
question for you guys though.
yes.
Would you rather have a masterpiece that becomes a masterpiece posthumously? Okay? So
Okay.
after you're dead, you get huge, or you get famous now, but on stuff you privately think is your like most mediocre crap you've ever written, and that you can do better. But that's the stuff that makes it, and you have to like keep churning out that crap for life in order to stay successful.
I'm a
What
legacy
would
guy.
you rather
I
have?
would want my legacy to live on. I don't care about personal triumph during my life if it's just crap.
So you're
I
more
want
into the
it to mean
afterlife
something.
afterwards? Okay.
I want it to mean something.
I think I'm the opposite. I because after I'm dead, who cares?
Yeah.
Unless I would have kids or something and would benefit from like royalties and stuff like that to and and help them as they get older or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't, so it doesn't apply to me. So yeah, I want it now.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
'Cause I mean, how many hits have we actually read in the world? How many books have you read that were mediocre and they were bestsellers?
Yeah.
Right.
You know? I mean, I can name a few, but let's not. But, I'm kidding. But,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of books out there that I always found to be questionable why they got published in the first place. Some of these big, big books, you know?
Yeah.
I wonder what publishers look for sometimes.
Mhm.
It's a mystery.
Yeah, no, definitely. Okay, so Elle kind of transitioned us perfectly into the next segment, which is one of the final segments, by asking that question because I ask people to bring us mailbag questions every week and I go ahead and
Oh yeah, I
we
forgot
answer
about
them
this.
on camera. So all three of us are gonna come up with an answer to the three questions I got this week. I'll go
Yeah.
ahead and start by asking the first question.
Mm.
So somebody wrote me said, so I have a coworker who always likes asks to carpool with me because we live so close together. I love them at work, but my morning drive is about me being alone and being able to sing my music at the top of my lungs without being judged. Am I a monster if I lie and say I only started doing early morning errands just to get out of it? Or should I what should I do here?
I say put your boundaries out there. Say, you know, I would I like seeing you at work, but my drive is my time, and I want to keep it that way.
How
I
about
mean,
you, Elle?
I would say
just
that.
flat out.
That's yeah, I would say the same thing. You know, it's nothing personal. Maybe I can give you a ride home, but I'm definitely not giving you a ride there because I need it to get ready for the day.
I could also see like compromising, say, well, we could do it every Friday or something like
Yeah.
that. You know, one day a
Or do a
week.
carpool
It
karaoke?
Yeah,
Cash
as
cab.
long as you if yeah, as long as you let me sing during the ride, then
Yeah,
and that may
right.
stop them from asking again.
Mhm. Right. Yeah. So okay, the next question I have here. Well, yeah. So obviously the backstory here. So they told me that their friend invited them to a birthday party at a really expensive restaurant. All they ordered was a side salad. Well, they did say they put extra cheese on it, so I mean, I guess that's something else, and some water. At the end, they wanted to divide the bill evenly, and they said that I owed $80 for the party. Do I pay it or what do I do here? Because like I feel like I shouldn't have to put in more than I actually got out of it. So, what do you guys think?
I would speak up in that case. I'd be like, I'm not paying $80 for what I got a side salad and water.
Well, they
I'm
did get
not
extra
paying
cheese.
yeah, yeah, the extra cheese. What is that? A dollar at most?
Mm.
No.
You know,
Yeah,
I would too
I'd
because
speak up.
that's really about you. If you don't speak up, that becomes a you problem because it's really about boundaries and saying, you know what, I did this so I could save some money. This is why I ordered what I did, and I don't have
Yeah.
it in my budget right now for this meal for an $80 meal.
Yeah,
If I knew I was gonna pay $80, I would have ordered this,
more.
not
Yeah.
this. You know?
Yeah.
Um,
This reminds me of that story I shared that went really viral earlier this year about when I was at the wedding dinner party, the reception at my when I was the best man at my friend's wedding.
Yeah,
I read this a few
I
weeks ago.
remember that.
Yeah, and they were trying to get me to pay more, and I was like, "No, this is all we ordered, and we paid our share." So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, speak out. Or just not put yourself in that situation. If you feel like that situation is gonna happen, remove yourself from it. That's it. Alright, one
But
more. Go
nowadays,
ahead.
when you go to a restaurant, it's pretty easy. You just tell them we want to split the
Split the
check, and
bill.
they'll give everybody their own
Yeah,
receipts
or
for
you
it.
can even
So
just say, "I want my own check." They can be all let them figure it out, but I am a side
yeah,
salad and a water girl.
yeah. It's
So
it's a lot
Extra
easier to
cheese.
split checks nowadays
I
than it
mean,
was.
extra cheese though, so I mean still.
Yeah.
or you could kick them in the dick, like Ben says.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I was gonna say something about Ben earlier, and I thought maybe he
Hi,
left,
Ben.
but
No, he looks like he's
Ben's
here.
still around. He gets distracted, but he's still around. A diplomatic
Dick kicker.
that's your next story, Ben. Diplomatic dick kicker. You have to write that. Alright, last question or this is the last question I got in. So I think this was a gay guy because it says a guy at my gym puts his phone on a tripod to film his workouts and gets mad if people walk through his shot. Is it my job to dodge his camera, or should I actively walk into the frame to assert dominance, or is there some sort of middle ground?
Wow, gym questions. If someone's filming their workout, you need to get through, it's not oh, well, you're gonna ruin their shot. You know, they shouldn't put the camera in the way of people walking. But if you do it just to ruin the frame, that's a little malicious. I don't know that I'd go that far, but unless he's a total gym bro, and then you need to teach that boy a lesson, but kidding.
It's Andrew Tate. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead, Brandon.
uh, it depends on a few factors. How big he is, how hot he is, and how big of an influencer he is.
Wait, did you mean his dick?
Oh,
Is that what you meant?
His
That's what you
what?
meant, right? His
His
dick.
how big he? Oh no, I meant like how big it like. Okay, if I'm pissing this guy off, is he gonna he's gonna whoop
yeah.
my ass or something like that? But
Yeah.
no, I mean I wouldn't intentionally walk in front of it, but I unless he was a total jerk, then I might. But
It sounds like he might be. I'm
yeah,
knocking the tripod down and walking away.
yeah. Well, I wouldn't do anything intentional, but if it's like if I have to go like all the way around all this equipment to get to the other side to where I'm wanting to go, I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna I'm gonna walk by and it's like you're in a public place. This is what you got to deal with.
Exactly, exactly.
Mhm.
Oh, those are all good answers. Oh my god. So I can't believe we're at the end of the thing already.
I know
So
this
this is
one went
usually the
quick.
yeah, this is usually the time when we go through all three of us and announce what we're doing coming up. You already announced your class. Let's just remind people of that class again.
When we have
Oh, go ahead.
medium day to talk about you and me, so
Yeah, yeah.
together we can
On the
announce that.
yeah, yeah. So together, Elle Becker and I are going to be on a panel with two other women, right? Two women.
Yeah, Dr. Cheryl Hatch and
Mm-hmm.
R.K. Osborne.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
the panel is gonna be chronic illness and disability, and then that morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, I'll be doing, Right Where It Hurts in the intersection between chronic illness, craft, and community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll be a part of that panel as well. Like you were mentioning before. What I was gonna pitch to you and see if this was a good fit for what everything else everyone else was doing. While you were telling me what everyone else was putting into it, I wanted to put in the aspect of a traveling disabled person, like how a lot of places when you're traveling don't have the accessibility and stuff, but also writing from that perspective. So,
Okay, well, we have someone doing accessibility
so I
already.
should change. No, but I mean, like it's more,
If you did, like,
it's
specifically, like,
it's
traveling
more
with
traveling. It's more traveling RV focused.
that's a great idea, or just traveling with disabilities. How hard is it to get
Yeah.
everything done, you know?
Okay, that works, and that'll tie into the accessibility
Yeah.
thing. Then that could be a nice transition.
I
Okay,
think that'd be awesome, and that's
great.
September 18th, and our panel, I think, is at either 1 or 2 PM Eastern, the panel that Sturg and I are on together.
Yeah,
I have to look it up, but we'll post it.
yeah, that sounds right. And then what I have going on this right now is I'm trying to get to 5 stories published this month. I've published 3 at this point, and I'm starting to pick up on a little bit of extra money, and I have just a little bit. Uh, I haven't been really focusing on writing as much lately as I have been on live video, but I'm starting to bring my focus back into that.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna train Fiona tomorrow, so we are actually gonna go on karaoke for at least an hour. I mean, less than maybe up to an hour is what I was trying to say.
What
If
time
I
does it
can,
start at?
it's gonna start tomorrow at 6:30 your time.
Oh,
So
it's a
we're gonna.
meeting tomorrow, our other meeting, group meeting, so
Yeah, because it's every 2 weeks. Okay, go ahead, Brandon. What do you have? Oh, and by the way, I just booked this, Brandon. I don't know if you saw the message yet, but
Yeah.
Jayhawk wants to talk with me. We're gonna have a talk with you, me, and Jayhawk on the 19th. It's not gonna be part of the podcast series. It's gonna be a different talk, and I'll give you more details as we go along.
All
Okay.
right. I've got a few things coming up. This tonight I'm going live with Stefan Pasek
I was with
at
him on Sunday. Hmm.
yeah, I'm going live with him tonight at 7:30 Central Time, and we talk about like just random topics. Tonight we're supposed to be talking about food topics like
Mm.
sort of controversial food takes maybe like is cereal a soup? Peanut butter on steak and other things like that. But you know, and then tomorrow I'm baking a chocolate zucchini cake with Samantha Burns.
Mm.
She's a farmer in Maine, and she sent me the recipe that she uses, and we're gonna make it together. She's only the second person I've done a baking video to with.
Collaboratively. Hmm.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
so yeah.
I love your baking videos, they're great.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
I only like it when I can see skin. So I mean, if he has no shirt on and his robot or his apron on, then
But, you know,
perfect.
a girl can
Um,
look.
I can't watch it when he has clothes on.
Well, I
Wait,
guess I'll.
what kind of videos are you watching?
Yeah, you're looking at the only stack,
Only
uh,
stack. I like it,
and
good
then
job.
Monday I'm going on the Latchkey Hour with Shayla, and we're going to be doing an '80s trivia. So
That'll be fun. You should join
we'll
in
s-
on that because that's a Gen X pod. That's
yeah,
fun.
we'll see how
Ooh,
that goes.
I'm pretty good at night 80s and 90s trivia.
I'm gonna watch. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I'll watch that. Cool.
All
Thank you
right.
Yeah,
guys
Well,
for having me on
yeah.
today.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
You were great, Elle. We really loved having you. Obviously this is Al Becker right here. I'm Sturge writes it down
And I'm Brandon Ellrich, and this has been another episode of Tuesdays
with
Two
gays and a straight woman.
And a gal.
and a
Yeah,
gal. That's right.
exactly.
Thanks everybody for coming in.
Au
See y'all
revoir.
later.